Right, we're going to talk a bit more about Facebook.
Yep.
Last week's episode, we devoted our Good Week, Bad Week segment to just particularly the bad week that Facebook was having. Yep. You can catch up with that episode by clicking up here. The story has got still a long way to go. It's still evolving, and so we thought we would take a moment to continue.
That's right. So, I mean, last week our big issue was that nobody at the senior management level of Facebook had responded, had gone out.
Yeah, for 5 days.
Absolutely, shocking. Since then, Zuckerberg has.
Yeah.
So, brilliantly, we think, he's conducted his apologies through old school media, right? He's gone on TV shows, on news channels, and in particular, he's placed a full page ad in most of the big newspapers around the world.
Yeah.
We hope that they paid rate card for those.
I hope so. I'm sure they were.
But so he's reacted. He's done a mea culpa.
It was a good apology, I think.
It was,
recently.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's also been pressure that's mounting. We mentioned this last week, where governments particularly have started calling. So the FTC in the US is now calling for Zuckerberg to come and testify with specific allegations. Brussels is going to be ramping up pressure. They've got a point to prove on GDPR. The UK government have asked Mark Zuckerberg to come and answer questions that they feel that maybe they were misled in the past. So government pressure, championing the rights of consumers over data.
The right thing. We weren't quite sure how advertisers, marketeers would kind of respond and react, whether there would be a huge migration of advertisers taking advertising money away from Facebook. That doesn't seem to have been the case so far. There have been a couple of kind of slightly high profile exceptions. Subway, Sonos have publicly declared that they've taken their money out and actually are giving that money to charity. So it seems as though it's a PR kind of story for them. But many advertisers are still, I think, investing in Facebook, certainly for the time being.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense because we've understand that a lot of the trade bodies are taking the cause forward and asking the tough questions of Facebook. We're hoping that we're going to get debriefed on that, just kind of exactly what they feel that they've achieved. It's important to keep the collective pressure on, though. So the trade bodies play an important role in that moment to keep that pressure quite focused. But the big challenge with Facebook is that they are part of the duopoly. Google and Facebook represent over 2/3 of digital marketing spend. And so they're very difficult to shift money out of.
That's right.
If this kind of scandal was breaking in a news organization, you'd find a lot more advertisers pulling money out of the print and digital properties of a newspaper and sticking them somewhere else, whilst they took a point of view. We saw it last year with YouTube, the brand safety scandal, which is a very different kind of challenge. But advertisers' immediate reaction was generally to pull spend and then ask the questions. Very few people are going to be pulling spend of Facebook because there is simply not enough viable alternative just because of their dominance.
Absolutely, and I think that's a really good point. Because there isn't an alternative, there is no need for a knee-jerk reaction. This isn't a marketing advertising issue as such, in the same way that the whole YouTube issues through brand safety were last year. This is more of a kind of a moral one. And until Facebook begin to lose real numbers, until they begin to have kind of shakiness around their ability to aggregate big audiences.
And users decline.
Absolutely. Then there's still going to be a hugely appealing platform for advertisers. Now that might change. Perhaps we've seen the beginning of a decline for Facebook. Who knows? But for the time being, because there's no viable alternative, advertisers are going to continue to support and advertise within it.
But do not stick your head in the sand. Do not wait for others to take some kind of action here. There is definitely pressure required for Facebook to change its ways. For the benefits of customers, users, in terms of the way they manage data, they absolutely have to be more transparent. They still have many questions to answer on their metrics, on their openness to be independently verified, their reporting, and probably a lot more value that they could give to advertisers. So, what's true right now is Facebook are vulnerable. They took 5 days to make a simple apology. There's been lots of questions of their lack of leadership at the moment. They've been very quiet, not been proactive enough to marketers, we understand. Marketers are having to call them to answer questions, having to put their trade bodies in front of Facebook. So Facebook are distracted and vulnerable. It's the perfect time as a marketer to go and change the narrative of your conversation with Facebook, renegotiate terms, and get more value from that relationship.
Absolutely.
That's got to start. You have an obligation not just to secure better terms for your own business, but to maintain pressure on Facebook, given its kind of monopolistic scale, to change the way it operates.
I think there are two more opportunities,
Yeah.
I think, for the marketing community as a whole. The first is that this provides an opportunity for competitors
Yeah.
of Facebook to come into the marketplace and have a clear proposition.
Yeah.
Oath, perhaps, or Amazon,
Yeah.
may go in and proactively use this as an opportunity to clarify their proposition
Yeah.
at a time when perhaps Facebook and their dominance is looking a little bit shaky.
Yeah, absolutely they should.
And secondly, it's an opportunity for marketeers to proactively engage with those platforms and
Yeah.
say, what have you got to offer?
Yeah, yeah. So for those companies, I mean, it's a lot of kind of CPG companies particularly, have got a high tension relationship at the moment with Amazon. What a brilliant opportunity to pick up the phone, call Amazon and say, right, make me an offer. This is so not only are you able to negotiate better terms with Facebook, but you should be able to negotiate prime terms with Oath, that this is their moment. I mean, if they don't take this opportunity, like, I can't see that there's going to be a better opportunity for them to come as a viable proposition. Same with Snapchat to an extent. But Amazon, definitely, you have to call Amazon if you are a customer of Amazon and say, make me an offer.
Yeah.
What will it take for me to shift 30% of my Facebook budget into Amazon advertising properties? So this could be a moment that these alternatives really shine.
I think we may look back on this as a bit of a watershed moment. I think it says to marketeers is that they need a plan B. For too long, they have been overly reliant on the duopoly. When things go wrong, there isn't a natural plan B.
No,
at the very least,
panic.
have a plan, right? So if it is anything, it is perhaps a warning sign to the marketeers that they need a plan B.
Yeah, absolutely, that's the thing. We called it in November. We said that Facebook had peaked. I think we're seeing the decline of Facebook. I think that the users will go down, sharing will go down, data use will go down, the value of advertising in Facebook will go down, the value of Facebook will decline. It's not going to disappear in our lifetimes, but its dominance is massively under threat now, and its marketers need to keep up the pressure to make that happen. And lots of
energy,
excitement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.